Alrighty. Here we go again. Here we go again. Let's give everybody some time. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, you guys. Everybody who is just joining, checking in. Hi. I'm doing well. I am, I'm a Virgo, and there's a lot going on in my life. I mean, there always is a lot going on, but there's like a lot of change happening for me too. So the eclipse is eclipsing. We're going to get into it. But hey, you guys, it's been a little minute since I went live on YouTube. But I've been saying, I've been telling my Patreon and Twitter that I'm trying to get more active again in the videos. I mostly be on TikTok. But I'm doing good. Y'all let me know how you're doing in the comments as well before we get started. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people in here. All right. Make sure my phone is on Do Not Disturb. Okay. A lot of change happening. The energy is heavy, but I know we'll be on the other side of it soon. Exactly. Yes, happy birthday to all the Virgos. We're at the end of Virgo season, unfortunately. My birthday was on the 7th on the full moon eclipse. But this one feels crazier. Yes, purging. All right, you guys. So we're going to get started. I don't think I have any moderators in here. I need at least 2 real quick before we start, just because I'm going to be going and I'm not going to have time to like delete negative comments or to block people or to stop and respond to everything. So if I could get at least 2 moderators before I get going, so I don't have to keep pausing and stopping and deleting and, whatever, that would be great, so that we can just move through this as peacefully and constructively as possible. And as a moderator, all you got to do is just moderate the chat. If you see something that looks weird or is like clickbait trolling, just delete it. Don't all volunteer at once. Okay, I added I added you as a mod. Thank you for volunteering. I appreciate it. Okay. I'll add you as well, Josh. So yeah, you guys, if you see any comments, just delete it, whatever. Or if you want to answer some people's questions in the comments, like, people might be like, oh, what house are we on or whatever. You can answer. But anyway, let's get into this, guys. We have a lot to talk about. There's a lot to cover as far as the information goes. And thank you. So, as we are all here for this video, the Virgo solar eclipse. This is not the last eclipse that we're going to have on this Virgo and Pisces axis. And this is definitely not the last Virgo eclipse specifically we're going to have. Our final Virgo eclipse, even when we change out of Pisces and Virgo North and South node axis, is going to be 2027. So this Virgo energy, this Virgo story, what's happening now is going to continue on for quite some time. All right. And I'm sure there's a lot of Virgo placements in here. if not all Virgo placements in here. So we have a long way to go. Okay. But I will say that from now to March is going to really be the peak of it. Okay. So from now to March, we're getting to the end more so, or the less like heavy or confusing part of it. From this eclipse to the next full moon and Virgo eclipse we have in March. Then in July, we have the nodes changing and the south node leaves Virgo. So there's relief there for us Virgo placements, especially Virgo suns. All right. And all these dates, I put them on my Patreon. So if you're like forgetting them, if you're on there, you can go and look at them as much as you need to. But for now, we're just going to focus on this one here. Anyway, the eclipse is tomorrow, you guys. The eclipse is tomorrow, Sunday, September, what is this, 21st. And the eclipse is at 29 degrees. And that is significant in itself, the 29 degrees. Whenever there's a planet or like, there's a major transit in a 29 degree, like, it could be like a Pluto at the end, like when we transitioned from the Pluto and Capricorn to Aquarius, that was when Donald Trump got elected or was in the office or whatever the case may be. Like there's like a major like change in whatever is happening in the world or in your life when a planet and there's a transit at 29 degrees, a critical degree. And so it's supercharged, it's super significant for everybody. And it shows a big turning point. It shows a massive ending of a cycle, closing of a cycle, and the beginning of another one. So this is something that is felt for everybody, not just Virgo placements. It's strongest for Virgo placements, but I'll list a couple people that is strongest for actually. So for one, Virgo placements, all Virgo placements will be feeling it to some degree. Mutable signs, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, and everyone, but especially mutable signs that you have later degrees. So anywhere from like 29 to, or 25 to 29 degrees, or like very, very early degrees, like 1 or 2 in the mutable signs. You will be feeling the energies. You will be feeling that energy of there's a significant shift. There's a significant change. There's a significant ending or a new beginning that you're stepping into. And if not today, not next week, not next month, it should show itself or what that is between now and March of 2026 when it is peaked. Okay. Are you going to do a Aries or Scorpio reading at any point? I am. I've been kind of spreading myself thin, doing a lot of other things. I've mostly been focusing on my Virgo and Pisces readings like the whole year, but I am going to get around to it, especially for like Scorpio season. I will be doing a lot more Scorpio stuff, and I'm going to figure out a new routine for myself. Don't worry. But make sure you're following me on Twitter because I've been really a lot more active on there, posting updates about the different signs. And if you're subscribed to the YouTube, you will see when I post as well. So anyways, back to the back. All right. So yeah, like I said, mutable signs, significant for you. If you have late degrees, it's significant for you. Especially the mutable signs, and Virgo placements is significant for you. Today, tomorrow, the next 6 months. But the solar eclipse is a partial one. Okay. Yeah. 0 degrees as well. It's a partial one, which means that there's a little more like flexibility in the plans. There's a little bit more, and then we're in a mutable sign, Virgo, which is all about adaptability, flexibility. It allows you room to make up your mind, to change your mind, to pick your path, to choose your own destiny. It's not for everybody. It's not going to be this eclipse where you have no choice in what to do. You have pretty much a lot of different choices, or you have like the majority of the power to choose to stay in the path that you've been on, or to change your mind or change directions in some way and choose a whole different outcome for yourself. However, this eclipse in Virgo is, even though it's a new moon, which is all about newness, beginnings, there's, again, it's on 29 degrees, which is about endings. And it's also on the south node, which is about endings and releasing and kind of pulling you backwards, backwards. And it's about your comfort zone. Okay. So there's this emphasis on the past. There's this emphasis on releasing. There's this emphasis on cutting things out before we step into a brand new cycle. There's an energy of needing to detach. Okay. And recognize how we have been holding ourselves back. A lot of it is self-imposed. A lot of it is our own doing. A lot of it is our own insecurity, our own criticism, our own judgments that have been stopping us from progressing the way that we need to. All right. But there's, again, a new energy. We haven't had a new moon in Virgo eclipse since 2023. So there has been some stagnancy for Virgo, especially since then. And you could see some similarities between then and now. But because we're having a new moon, finally, there's like a new opportunity that still presents itself. And it's like you've been waiting for this. And it's going to apply to everybody differently. We'll go through the different houses of where you have Virgo, as well as I'll touch on a couple planets you have Virgo to help you see if you don't know what this is for you. A lot of you guys know what it is that you need to either change, release, let go, start new, do different, stop doing whatever it is. A lot of you guys do know, but if you don't know right now, or you're still trying to figure it out, I'll go through the Virgo houses and you should have a better idea. All right. But, yeah. So again, eclipses, they always happen in pairs. There's a full moon we just had in Pisces, and it's not always opposite of each other exactly. It depends on how it falls with the nodes, but it's on this Virgo and Pisces axis, or Pisces and Virgo axis. So we had the full moon in Pisces lunar eclipse September 7th. And now we're having this one in Virgo. So it's, exactly on the axis. Sometimes it can be a little wonky. For example, next year we're going to have our first eclipse, North Node eclipse in Aquarius. We haven't had one of those in a long time. Even though we're still on this Pisces and Virgo axis. So we're introducing this new energy before we get into the actual nodal change into Aquarius and Leo. And that's a whole nother thing that I will go into when it's time. Not yet. We're still over here because I don't want to confuse y'all. But yeah, they're in pairs. So it's like, it's always a continuation of the story. It's always, it's chapters rather. It's chapters in a whole story. So this story really began the end of last year when we were still in the Aries and Libra axis. There was our first Pisces lunar eclipse in September of last year. So look at the congruencies. Look at the synchronicities from last year, September 2024 to this year, 2025. You may find that there's some similarities there. You may find there's some unfinished business or some repeating stuff, whether it's mindsets, there's situations, something about it from last year to this year is similar. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't exactly on that axis yet. So now we're on it. And so where was I going with this? Yeah, that was pretty much the end of that thought. But yeah, from the beginning of this year, we really got into it once the nodes shifted. North node Pisces, South node Virgo. The eclipses started being more consistently Pisces and Virgo. And so we've been feeling that. We've been talking about this from the beginning of the year. If you were with me in the Virgo and Pisces group, you know what it was. Now, this starts the next cycle, like I was saying earlier, from now, September 21st to February and March. All right, there's something significant here. There's something significant that shows that it's tied to our structure. It's tied to our routines. It's tied to our habits. Okay, because Virgo is a sign about routine. It's a sign about our daily lives. There's things that we need to change about our daily lives. Something significant is happening here, where either we've been stuck in a routine that does not resonate with us anymore, and that can be work, that can be relationships, that can be mental health, that can be anything. It can be anything. But there's something about that routine that you've been comfortable in, or that you've gotten used to, or that you've just gotten comfortable, even though it may not feel good. You've gotten comfortable in doing it in a harder way than it needs to be. And this shift is showing you, like, hey, there's a better way. There's a better way to go about this. There's, a better life. There's a better system that you can have. There's a better way of thinking. And we have to really figure out what that is for ourselves, or if we're even willing to adopt a new mindset, a new structure, a new system. Now, the eclipse is also opposite of Saturn. Okay, Saturn is in Pisces again. Saturn, we got a little taste of Saturn in Aries for a couple months from May to September. It's retrograded back into Pisces. It will move out of this. So that'll also help the energies too to start to move forward. It's moving back into Aries in February. All right. So that, again, we'll talk about those things later, because in astrology you have to understand everything works together, everything is intertwined. It's like you can't like talk about a singular experience or transit without addressing another one that is in correlation to it. So I'm trying to keep y'all, on target, but I do have to like mention these other things too that are working with it. So I say that to say, because the Saturn is in Pisces right now. It is, making contact with the North Node, not very closely, but it's opposite of the South Node. So we need to release one structure or system and embrace another one that feels better, another one that makes us feel less restricted, makes us feel like we have more freedom. Okay, because it's the same structures that we rely on to manage these aspects of our daily lives, or to be in survival mode, or to feel like we're in control. And it's like we're just so hands-on and we're so integrated in it. These systems also become our prison of our everyday reality, and they limit us. They're starting to limit us, which is what the South Node is showing, like your limitations, like you've gotten comfortable in this, but it is limiting you. It's not actually helping you anymore. It's like overworking, overdoing it, filling your schedule up so much, or like working harder, not smarter. All these things are limiting, okay? If you never question it, if you never refresh it, if you never say, maybe there's a better way of doing this, okay? So I hope y'all following me. Make sure you join the Virgo and Pisces Discord. Yes, that I did open up the Discord. It was free. I allowed 100 people in the Discord for free. But that is something that is exclusive to the Virgo and Pisces group on my Patreon. All this will be, and you can find it anywhere. It's all over my Twitter, my links in my bios. It's like the first one you'll see if you want to join. I do have free trials available, so you can check out the group, look at the group before you actually subscribe. So yeah, but yeah, everybody, every Virgo right now, or everybody with the Virgo area in their chart, wants to do something different. We want something that does not make us feel drained. We want something that does not make us feel burnt out or, rigid. We want to be free of that. All right. We want to change, but there's fear of breaking away from the routines. There's fear of breaking away from the usual that we're used to, the mundane. Like, there's even like scarcity mindsets of like, is it really that bad? Like sometimes I keep saying this phrase, and I feel like it really resonates with me, so it might resonate with y'all, but just like, would you rather have a comfortable hell over an uncomfortable heaven? It's like sometimes we just we just, we get so used to the way things are that even though we don't like it, we stay stuck in it because we're afraid of like, could it really be better somewhere else? And you probably know it could, but it's like it comes with so many unpredictabilities and fears. And with this opposition to Saturn, there is some like sacrifices, or maybe there is hard work that you're gonna have to put in if you do choose another option. It won't be like, it's not harder in the same way where it's like, you're feeling just drained and frustrated. It's just more harder because things that are better for you sometimes are not necessarily easier, you know but it'll be better for you in the long run. So it's just something to think about. But yeah, doing something different does come with risks. Okay, yeah, what if we don't like it? And what if we end up wishing we would just have stuck with what we were used to? These are all like fears. These are all questions that we're going to have to challenge, because the South Node wants you to stay comfortable. It wants you to remain where you are, but pushing towards the North Node right now. The North Node in Pisces is things we cannot see. It's things that we have to walk by faith, not by sight. And, South Node in Virgo is all about the material world, what we know, what we're used to. But that is not what our intuition always is telling us that's the best thing to do. Okay. So yeah, this is the Virgo dilemma, is like the fear that comes with changing your routine, that comes with picking something else that may be better for you, because you don't know how you're going to feel after that. All right. But we are becoming more aware than we ever have of the limitations and the lifestyles that we've created for ourselves. Okay. We've built these routines. We've built these habits. Even though they have become either just a prison, or they've become overwhelming, or just too much, we built them. So we're like, well, I got to kind of stick with this. And that is not true. That's not necessarily true. So all that to say, what area of life are we creating our own limitations, or our own prisons, so to speak? That's what we're going to be going over in the house that you have, Virgo. But just as examples of the planets, a couple planets, like your sun sign, right? Creating these limitations in the way that you express yourself, the way that your personality is, the way that you are. There's limitations there. Feeling like you have to be a certain way. Your emotions, your moon sign. So this is like, I'm going through like in Virgo. So that was sun in Virgo. If you have moon in Virgo, it's more so like limitations around your emotions and how you express them and how you feel. There's restrictions there. There's burdens there. There's fear there. There's limitations of vulnerability. Your rising sign. This can be also how you show up, how you dress, how you look. There's limitations surrounding that. There's criticism surrounding that. There's criticism surrounding your mindset, the way that you are perceived. And then your, Virgo Venus, this is limitations in your relationships, limitations in either the way that you show up in relationships or the way you allow others to show up for you. Apply it to the planets in Virgo and what they represent. And that's where the limitations are showing up here. We're not going to go through every single planet because there's a lot. But we're going to go through all the houses. If you guys have questions after, please, you can comment. But I more will likely see them or respond on the Patreon if you DM me, because I don't see every comment. I miss most of them, but I always check my Patreon DMs. So yeah, that's that. Now we're going to get into the houses. Before we do that, I'm going to say one thing, and then I'm going to help you guys, for those of you who don't know how to locate the Virgo house, because we need to make this clear. So the solar eclipse that we're about to go into, that we have, well, we're already in it. We're about to experience and the energy unfold for the next 6 months. Solar eclipse says, let's reset, but in a south node way. All right. Let's work on refining what already exists. Okay. Because the south node is about the past, is also about, what is already there. The north node is more so about new things. So we don't, for all of us, we don't need to completely rewrite history. We don't need to throw away the baby with the bathwater. You know what I mean? We just really need to level up what we already do, or we need to like change the direction of it. We need to just shift and make it easier, more simplified. Okay. For some of us, others of us, we do need to just get rid of what we were doing completely, but not everybody. So I just want to make that clear. Again, astrology can apply to everybody in different ways because we are speaking kind of generally. All right. But everybody is going to have to face their negative inner critic that tells you that you cannot change, have more, have better, have easier. Okay. That is something that's a universal thing right now, especially where you have Virgo in your chart, or if you have Virgo placements, period. You have to face these negative voices. You have to confront them. You have to either silence them. You have to not engage with them. You have to change those insecurities, because that is what's holding you back. Okay. So, two questions that you can really ask yourself: where are you running in circles and spending too much energy without making real progress? And well, that's one question. The other thing is, if something in your life feels dull or like a burden, that means you're ready to let go and move on from it. So, all right, that was the last thing I had to say before we get into the houses now. All right, so now if you don't know where you have Virgo in your houses, there's two ways that you can figure this out. Well, one, you have to have your birth time, and it has to be accurate. Okay. If you don't have your birth time, then you will not be able to see your houses in your birth chart, period. So, unfortunately, there's that. But yeah, so there's that. You won't be able to see that. But if you do have your birth time and you're able to pull it up in your birth chart, then you just, you look at the chart and you'll see like the numbers depending on which chart you're looking at. I like astrocharts.com because it has the circle chart, and then it has like the houses listed below. It's very easy to read. But yeah, you'll see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And one of those will be Virgo. Usually, sometimes in some charts, people are like, I don't have this house. I don't have this sign in this house. We do. We have all 12 signs, but some charts don't show it because you may have what's called an intercepted house, which means there's two signs. I mean, there's the same sign overlapping kind of a house based on your degrees. So in that case, if you do pull up your chart, you have your birth time, it's accurate. You see, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12. I see Virgo. Okay, it's in my 5th house. It's in my 11th house. It's in my whatever house. Cool. Keep that house number in mind. If you don't see Virgo in your chart, then, but you have your accurate birth time. All you have to do is, based on your rising sign, you count till you get to Virgo. Okay. So mine is, for example, my rising sign is Scorpio. So I would count until I get to Virgo. So it's Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, 10, Virgo, 11. So Virgo is in my 11th house. So yeah, because it goes in order based off your rising sign. That's where the houses go. Okay. So those are two ways that you can locate it as long as you have your birth time. You look on there, you type in all the information, you see where the number is, and it says Virgo. Okay, boom, that's the house. If you don't see Virgo and everything else is accurate, you do what I just showed you, count from your rising sign to whatever house Virgo is. But not whatever house. Well, yes, whatever house it is, but just, count in order from your rising sign to Virgo. So I hope that helps to clear that part up. In my notes, though, I did not write. I did it kind of a way I didn't want to do it, and I should have did this. I should have fixed this before I got on live. But I'll probably put the notes up on Patreon after this because I can't go back and do that right now. So if you really don't know your rising sign, I would say you can apply this to your sun sign, but I did not write the notes for the sun sign. I only wrote it for which house we have Virgo in. So I'm going to go back after this video on my Patreon and post it. If you don't have your rising sign, you can access that post. So you can have it too, because I really did want everybody to have the information. So anyways, for now, I know that was a lot before we even got into it. Let's go through Virgo through the houses. So everybody should have what house they have Virgo in. And I will go through everything once. And you guys, if you miss it, you can watch it back. The playback will be up after I'm done with it. And if somebody's commenting, asking which house I'm on, whatever, you can let them know in the comments because we're going to go through these. All right. So let's start with Virgo in the first house. But also, this is called a Virgo rising. Okay. So your first house is your ascendant or your rising sign. So your first house in Virgo. Okay. There is a need to reevaluate. There's a need to release restrictions on things dealing with your personal identity and your self-image. So these are things that there have been some criticism about with yourself, could be with other people. And it's telling you that you need to let go of these outdated self-perceptions and embrace new ways of expressing yourself or dressing or, whatever it has to do with your physical body, your physical appearance, your hair, your aesthetic. There is a need to take a new path with that, or there's a newness that is opening up for you in regards to yourself, the way that you think, the way that you act, the way that you dress. All right. But this is about your identity when it comes down to your first house. Can you use a whole sign chart to find out where it was? Yes, you can use whole signs. Whole signs, you would definitely see all 12 houses. So yeah, there was something else I was going to say about that specifically. But yeah, it's like the insecurities that you feel about yourself, right? Where does that need to be? You need to throw that completely away, where you need to challenge those insecurities about you and how you show up and what you can achieve and what you want or how you want to look physically. Okay. So that's first house of Virgo. The second house, Virgo. This is all about your finances. This is about your possessions. This is about your self-worth. Okay. So financial matters and personal values are highlighted here. So there's a need to release these old rigid systems about money, releasing these ideals about the amount of money that you can have, the amount of money you can make, or the way that money is tied to your identity, the way money is tied to your self-worth. Okay. So releasing those old beliefs about money and security to create space for new resources. So there's a new way that you are meant to operate, but there is an old something that has to be released first. It could be releasing one stream of income for another, one job for another. It could be, selling one thing to get something better. It could be so many different things when it comes down to your money and needing to restructure the way that you feel about it, the way that you handle it, the way that you go about receiving it and achieving it. Okay. But yeah, it's asking you to just reevaluate the relationship that you have to your self worth as well. Okay. And challenge those insecurities that you have, either about money or about your worthiness to receive what it is that you need financially. All right. That was Virgo in the second house. Now, if you have Virgo in your third house, this is about communication, learning. This could be correlated to neighbors, your siblings, but it's mostly mental, okay, your mind and communication. So there's a need to evaluate and release these outdated ways of thinking, period, or these outdated ways of communicating. So you need to learn to let go of unproductive communication patterns. Okay, so this can be, like, I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound like, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just saying, like, this is kind of just how it's presented. If it's hypercritical, if you do tend to be more critical of yourself in the way you think and the way you speak, or you're critical of other people and the way that they think and speak, or the way that you express yourself can come across as a little bit harsh. There may need to be a releasing of that so that you can be, a better communicator. Okay. And just the way that you embrace learning, there can be some harshness of you not feeling like you are smart enough, because the third house is about learning and being a student. And so there can be some criticism surrounding yourself and feeling like you need to have more knowledge and you need to know more and you need to just know more things and be able to have the knowledge. But of course, that's impossible to know everything. So there is a need to release that. Could even be releasing one thing that you were studying and embracing something else that actually will help you in a better way. Like, sometimes we learn things and it doesn't do anything for us, really. So learning to let go of that, what you were learning before, and learning a new way or, a new mental process. Okay, so now Virgo in the fourth house. Fourth house is about our home. It's about our family. It's about our mom, our connection to our emotions as well. So home and family dynamics might change, or they need some redefining. So this could be either you leaving behind one home environment for another, or that you need to release something in regards to your family members or set some boundaries there, or something there is showing to be like restrictive in regards to your family or where you live right now, your home. So releasing past family issues, it could be releasing burdens that you carry from your past or your family, and creating a more nurturing and organized home environment. So yeah, maybe you need like a more space, or you need like a home office or something like that. Something that's just going to make you feel better. Either more privacy. There's something that you need so that you can prioritize your home life. Okay. That's something that I didn't mention for everybody with the Virgo energy, is like, this area needs attention. This area needs like prioritizing. So, first house, your physical body, your second house, your finances, third house, your communication, your mind, for fourth house, your home life or your family. You have to prioritize these things, or maybe there's something that you have to sacrifice for these things. Okay. So yeah, that's your home. Your fifth house. Fifth house is about your creativity, your self expression, your joy. It can be tied to romance. It can also be tied to children. So, creativity, romance, and self expression require your attention. They require less criticism, and how you want to have fun, how you want to express yourself. There has been some limitations or some restrictions over your free time or over your ability to just be carefree. And that's very, for Virgo, it's hard to be carefree. It's hard to be jovial, when there's so much to worry about. And so it's telling you that you need to release those restrictions that are damping your fun, damping your ability to relax and just play. Okay. As well as letting go of creative blocks or outdated romantic ideals to create and invite new inspirations. So there is definitely, like, when you're not allowing yourself to play and have fun, you are going to have creative blocks. You are going to struggle with your creativity, expressing your talents, especially if you're an artist of some kind. You have to enjoy and have fun, as well as try to loosen up a little bit when it comes down to dating, or the way that you've been approaching it needs to be different. Okay. Alrighty. So, yeah, that's fifth house. Let go of trying to restrict yourself from having fun. And that's really the premise of it. All right, sixth house, Virgo. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 left. We're halfway there. All right, sixth house, Virgo. This is where, Virgo is naturally placed in the chart. Sixth house is correlated to Virgo. So sixth house is about health, routines, your habits, etc., your work. So your health and daily routines are the ones that come into focus. And so this is really highlighting where you just need better daily habits, period. You could need better health habits. You could need a better day-to-day lifestyle. Okay. Maybe the one that you have is completely draining, burning you out. It's not pleasant. It's not happy. It's not healthy. Or there's just other things in it that, you can make small adjustments. It doesn't have to be anything huge all at once, but you make those small adjustments and you feel better. So releasing unhealthy habits and improving your approach to wellness and service. Yeah, the service, over giving and extending yourself, that is a Virgo quality all the way. So look at where you are overdoing it. You're over giving every day. You're just wearing yourself to the ground every single day. And that is where you need to start making those adjustments or releasing those limitations that confine you and make you feel like you have to fill your life to the brim every single day with work or with this or with that. And there's nothing left for you at the end of the day. Okay, that is very, very, very restricting. Very restricting. That there needs to be a better system, a better approach to your day-to-day life. Okay. The one I had with work drained me. No work-life balance. Yes, you need a work-life balance with this Virgo sixth house energy, or your health is going to suffer. That says period, point blank. Period, point blank. I'm trying to think. What are you? Aries rising. Aries rising for a lot of people have this one. Sixth house Virgo. I've been telling Aries rising and Libra rising since the nodes changed, because it's transiting their 6th and 12th houses. They need to take care of their health. And of course, Virgo is always about health. So all Virgos need to take care of their health, but especially Libra and Aries rising, or if you have Virgo and Pisces in your 6th or 12th houses. Taurus rising. So yeah, you have intercepted, because in whole signs, it would be 6th house would be Aries rising. But anywho, yeah. So releasing those restrictions around your day-to-day life so that you can have more space and availability to relax and enjoy your routines. Okay. And your routines should not feel like prison. Shouldn't. Okay. 7th house, Virgo. If you have 7th house in Virgo, your partnerships and relationships need some attention. They need some restructuring. Okay. There is a need to like reevaluate like how your relationships have been up to this point, like whether it's you are taking on too much responsibility of other people, codependency is heavy in your relationship, or you're trying to fix people, or you're being too critical of people, you're not allowing people to, whatever it is, there has to be a better way of approaching your partnerships and moving forward. There has to be a evaluation of like the patterns, whether it's your patterns or the patterns of people that you're with, you're picking, whatever. You have to look at these dynamics and face some insecurities also about attracting better. Okay. For all of these, where Virgo is in the houses, you deserve more. You deserve better. And when I say more, I don't mean more in a burdensome way. I mean more in a better way. Okay. So, challenging those beliefs that maybe this is the best that I can get, or this is as good as it's going to get in my relationships. You need to know that there's always better. There's abundant mindset. There's always better. There's always better job, better place you can live, better friends, better. That doesn't mean you need to always be seeking better actively. You can enjoy what you have, but I'm saying if it's just not giving you what you need, you don't have to try to force it and make it work and do all these things to make it better. Where you're getting opportunities, all Virgos are getting opportunities to choose better for themselves. And for you, Virgo, in the seventh house, it is about either choosing better relationships or better relational habits for yourself. Okay. Virgo in the eighth house. Virgo in the eighth house. So yeah, if you have Virgo in your eighth house, this is always a very complex house to explain. But it's about shared resources. This is about intimacy. This can be about shadow work, control, even death or change. There's always better. It's about knowing that we deserve what we deserve. Yes, you're right about that. So for Virgo in the eighth house, there is a lot of fear. There's just a lot of fear, period. There's always a lot of fear about change. There's a lot of fear surrounding vulnerability, but it's telling you to release your fears around intimacy, financial dependencies, and be willing to foster that growth and that change and transformation. So one way that this can show up is learning to take off the restrictions of you being intimate with people or you being vulnerable, because intimacy fosters trust and growth, but this can be something that's challenging if you're a Virgo that has struggled with betrayal and trust issues, or just paranoia, period. Like having the eighth house is already correlated to Scorpio, which is a paranoid sign, but Virgo is also paranoid. So it is about like learning better discernment to your fears. Okay. Like what is a trauma response versus like what is my intuition actually telling me of what's happening. Okay. So, there's a better system that's needed for you being able to like trust other people or to work with other people or to bond with other people that has been holding you back, whether it's like you not trusting people has been holding you back from connection or taking things to the next level with different people, or it could go the other way. You could be too trusting or too dependent on other people for either financial growth or intimacy. So you just have to kind of take that however it resonates for you specifically. But all in all, it is telling you to release these fears about connection and these fears surrounding change. There has to be a better system with your relationship to like accepting change. Okay. So now we got 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th Virgo. So if you have Virgo in your 9th house, Sun, Moon, and South Node of my 8th, how does that show up for you? That's deep. That's deep. I would like to know how that really shows up for you. But yeah, so ninth house is all about our philosophies. It's about our beliefs. It can be about education and long distance travel. So beliefs and higher learning, and could be possibly religion or spirituality, highlighted for Virgos. So letting go of limiting beliefs and expanding your horizons through new philosophies or studies. So something about what you believe in has been of limitations. Now, this can be something that you believed in once and you've been trying to still stick to that, or you've, studied it, or you've been living by it, and that is no longer a belief that is serving you. This could be so broad, like, and you're gonna have to really apply it to your specific life. For those who have Virgo in the ninth house, this could be just a simple belief of like, how you feel about people, like everybody's out to get you, or everybody's going to hurt you, everybody, whatever. But having a black and white mentality about things is harming you more than it's helping you, right? When you say everybody does or everybody doesn't do something, or this always happens, it does pull away from the complexities of life. Life is not black and white. It's not going to always be this way or that way. And so when you see things in that way, and you have like tunnel vision about your beliefs, or like one way has to work and this has to be the only path and this can only happen this way, it is limiting you. Okay. So you have to look at what you've been believing in for yourself or your life, or where you're going, where you're heading. And if that's still like applicable, or maybe you can have diversity there. Okay. So if you can diversify your mind or your beliefs a bit, or maybe have a better structure of how you're embracing what you believe in your faith, then that can help you, as well as, maybe thinking about moving. For some of you Virgo in the ninth house people, moving far, or maybe you just need to, there's some type of movement that needs to happen, moving from one place to another. Okay. I am in a new change right now that is critical and life changing. Ooh, a lot of us are, man. I wouldn't say mine is life changing, but it is very critical of me. It's time sensitive for me to know what I'm doing, because I'm in the process of moving myself. So again, moving again. Tired of moving, low key. But yeah, so okay, 10th house. 10th, 11th, and 12th is last. Okay, so 10th house Virgo. I think 10th house Virgo. Who's 10th house Virgo? Is it Gemini? Is it Gemini rising that has a 10th house in Virgo? It's one of you mutables. It's not Pisces. It might be. Is it Gemini? Because Sagittarius has 4th house Pisces. No, it's 10th house. It's Sagittarius rising, I think. Somebody correct me. Somebody verify if it's 10th house Sag that has Sag rising that has a 10th house in Virgo. So any hoozle. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I had to do the math in my head. I was trying to count Sagittarius, then 4th house Pisces, opposite of 4th is Virgo, 10th. So yeah, Sag risings. Okay, so career and public image, reputation are... Okay, Gemini rising. So we already did 4th house Virgo. Yeah, we did 4th house earlier, so you're going to have to watch the playback. Okay, so this is about your career. Okay, there's limitations that you've placed either upon your career or your ability to advance in your career, or have the career or the reputation, the public image that you desire. So it's asking you right now to release outdated career goals, or public roles to align with your true purpose. So this could be, taking on these positions that don't really aid to your growth, your success, don't really make you feel like you're moving anywhere. This could be taking part-time positions, not really going for the things that you truly want. And that can be due to the insecurities or the criticisms that you have about yourself. So you're wanting to remove those limitations, or like align better with goals that are realistic, because Virgo is a perfectionist and the career goals can be very outlandish. You're trying to be a billionaire in a couple months or be an expert in a year. You might have to redefine like your goals and how much you are working or how much pressure you're putting on yourself to achieve those things in the perfectionist ways, because that might be holding you back. Or, there are bigger and better opportunities for you that exist out there. But of course, you may not feel worthy, or you may feel like you're not good enough yet, or you don't know enough yet. Imposter syndrome, all these different things. And so either way it goes, you have to release something here, whether it's like a job or a mindset or an idea or a goal, so that you can actually align with a mindset, job, or goal that works better for you, that doesn't feel like either so much pressure or it feels like it is something that you are capable of, or you just have to believe that you are capable of doing it. Okay. So that's for you guys, Virgo in the 10th house, all about releasing one career mindset or goal to embrace a better system for another one. Okay. So next we got 11th house. 11th house Virgo. 11th house Virgo. Scorpio. This is me. I was like, that sounds familiar. Scorpio rising. Scorpio rising. All right. So this is about your friendships, your community. This can be about your hopes and dreams as well. So friendships and community involvement are in the focus. So this is about letting go of unfulfilling social connections or communities or friendships that aren't resonating with you, or they might be holding you back, and aligning with groups that reflect your true values. So there could either be criticism of yourself and the people that you want to associate with. You're restricting yourself from connecting with other people, or you're judging yourself for feeling like there's just judgment there when it comes down to like either your involvement in groups, or you're very critical of yourself in social environments, in friendships, or there could be some criticism of other people and friendships and groups that you see or you're in. So again, it can go either way. Either you are being too critical of people, and it's preventing you from actually connecting, or you're being too critical of yourself, and that is holding you back from being in the right groups. But yeah, there needs to be a releasing of restricting yourself from moving into a new space, or moving into different groups, or allowing yourself to have new connections, whatever it is, or even allowing your visions, your hopes, your dreams to change, right? So there could be like some criticism of what you believed in, like for yourself. And this is not ninth house beliefs like in a higher way. This is like dreams, like you want to be famous, you want this, you want that, you see that for yourself. But there's criticism like, maybe I'm asking for too much, like I need to be more humble. Virgo is about humility. I need to just be happy with who I have, what I have. But it's telling you don't have to restrict yourself and your visions and your goals, and even restrict yourself from friendships. It could be one of those things you're like, okay, I don't need too many friends or whatever. So there could be a restriction with that too. And yeah, or you're just trying to make it work with the people that you have and you might feel judged from them. So it can go in so many different directions for Virgo and 11th, but it is about redefining your dreams and your community involvement. A lot of new people actively trying to come in, and a lot of them can help you. Okay, so there's Scorpio rising or Virgo in the 11th. Lastly, we have Virgo in the 12th, Libra rising. See, I wish I would have picked up on this in the beginning so I could have been saying like the sign with it. But, like I said, I'll go back and put it on Patreon after. So, yeah, 12th house is about spirituality, it's about rest, it's about solitude, mental health. It's a very, another complex house, what's hidden. So, spirituality and the subconscious patterns will emerge. Okay. So, your biggest restriction here has been your own mind. Okay. Your own subconscious mind. There's also restrictions here that you need to have a better relationship with rest. Okay, you have to have a better relationship with your sleep patterns. You have to learn to not judge yourself for wanting rest, for sleeping, for being alone. You need that for your mind, for your sanity. It's also a need to release hidden fears or past trauma so that you can embrace healing and spiritual growth. So there's a lot of fear. Virgo, I would say the most fearful people probably is Virgo in the 12th, Scorpio in the 12th. Yeah, Pluto in the 12th. Because it's so much overthinking. Like Virgo in the subconscious mind house, it just sounds like overdrive of anxiety and fear and fear and anxiety all day long. But you have to get a handle on that. You have to learn how to have a better relationship with your subconscious mind, with meditation, with resting, with disconnecting. You have to learn how to detach. You have to learn how to unplug, because if you don't, you're going to be adopting all of these fears from outside sources that are not yours, these projections that are not yours, and you're not going to know what is real from what's not, what's yours, what's not. So you need to learn to not restrict yourself and not judge yourself for wanting to disconnect, for wanting to be alone, for wanting to spend time in your own space, and learning how to let go of some fears and not being ashamed of embracing your spirituality and your spiritual journey. It's your own. So yeah, but there's a lot of restrictions that are showing up and showing where you need to change your mental ways. Your mental health can be one that is causing you restrictions here. Okay. So yeah, everybody, all the Virgo houses, the eclipse wants us to, again, South Node, let go of the past to make room for better systems in that area. Okay, new developments in a Virgo way. Okay, there's new things happening, new things emerging where we're seeing the patterns, we're seeing the problems in these houses. Virgo is a fixer. Virgo likes to fix things. We see the problems, right? But because we have this South Node energy on us right now in Virgo, it's like it's hard to get out of the comfortability of the patterns. We see it, we know it, we recognize it, we see the problem here. But either we don't know how to fix it, or there's so much fear about changing it. But this eclipse is showing you exactly what you need to do. And, the only way to conquer the fear is to have courage and conquer it. Okay. So that's everything I got for you guys. For the eclipse, this was over an hour. So, the first half, we went over what it means, what it represents, different transits happening. The rest of it, where you have Virgo in your houses. The playback will be here for you to watch after, as well as my Virgo and Pisces group. We've been here all year long. I've been talking about these transits every freaking week since December 2024, before the nodes even changed. So all this will be on the Patreon. I'm going to make another post with the playlist of all the videos we've done. So And then if you need a community still, because these transits are continuing, this is not the end. We have all the way till, 2026/2027, specifically for Virgo, where we're going through this. Okay. So if you have been alone, you have been struggling to understand it, you have been confused, you have been like, what the heck? Or you didn't even know that there was a resource for this specifically. You got Virgo, you got Pisces placements. Come to the group. Okay. Come to the group. You can try the free trial if you want. You could join the Discord once you're in there. You should be in there. You should not be in it alone. I just don't understand why there's any Virgo and Pisces alone trying to figure this out by themselves, because it's impossible. So, there's that. You can have the community. It's waiting for you there. That's linked in my description box, my bios, everywhere. Patreon.com/Bronxology. And all this stuff is there. I'm still going to be posting about this, even though this was the main event here. There's still more of an aftermath portion that I want to share, and that's going to be exclusive, as well as other transits coming up that are important. So all that to say, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you, Chloe. I really, really try my best. I try because I'm going through it too. It's not like I'm just telling y'all what to do. I'm a Virgo. I'm in my nodal reversal. Saturn return. It's on pause right now, but it'll continue in February. So I'm literally going through it in real time, and I'm like figuring out for myself. In hindsight, I'm sure it'll make more sense to me, but yeah. You guys are very welcome. Watch it as many times as you need to. But all in all, we're all going through a big shift right now. All the Virgo placements, a lot of endings, a lot of new beginnings from now through February. Not saying they'll all feel comfortable, but a lot of them should feel or should be for our highest good. Okay. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to me here. I am uploading more. Twitter as well. Patreon if you can. And we're going to stay locked in. Okay. So you don't have to be confused for the next transit and the next one and the next one. I usually cover every transit that's major. So thank you guys again. I love you. Have a safe eclipse weekend. We'll check in very, very soon. I am at Tarot by Bronx and Mind Body Bronx. Yeah. On everything. Say goodbye, Joey. Anything to say? Nothing to say. All right. Bye, guys. Peace.